It's the SKOR North Twins Show.
All right. 4 days in a row of SKOR North Twins Show content. What's going on? Declan Goff here on the SKOR North Twins Show, an extra innings, little bonus sprinkled episode, the second one of this week. Very excited to hop on here. Second one? Third one? I think it's the third one of this week. I'm losing count because I can't believe we've been able to have a run of Twin shows the last 4 days. I wanted to hop on here and give you a little update. We got off a conference call with Derek Falvey and Jeremy Zoll to kind of give some background on Harrison Bader and Danny Coulomb. Just wanted to kind of share some of that stuff with you guys. And of course, if you're new to the SKOR North Twins Show, hit the subscribe button, the like button for Minnesota Twins content. I cover the Twins at every home game in a beat podcasting role. I love to share everything I learn with you guys. So if you're new to the channel, if you have been watching the channel, you haven't been subscribed, please do so. It helps spread the word about the SKOR North Twins Show. Appreciate everyone that was with us last season and has maybe even jumping on board for the first time this season. So I appreciate that. So the Twins have added 2 free agents in case you've been under the rock the last few days. They added Harrison Bader, a outfielder who was a former Gold Glove winner with the Cardinals. He's bounced around since then with the Mets, the Yankees, the Reds. He won a Gold Glove in center field. Obviously, Byron Buxton is the Twins' center fielder, but worst kept secret, he does miss some time. So Harrison Bader kind of comes in as an insurance plan. Twins did this in a similar role with Michael A. Taylor 2 years ago. Now, Taylor was also a very good defender like Bader. He had some nice pop in terms of home runs to his game, but he struck out a ton. He was kind of a liability offensively. Harrison Bader, by the way, isn't necessarily a great offensive player either. Just a 86 OPS plus over his last 3 seasons, so a well below average hitter. However, still a very good defender and someone that can play center. But the kind of elephant in the room, or something that we've been trying to figure out in the last 48 hours post-signing, is Bader has spent almost exclusive time playing center field. He has played, in his 8 years, he has played 688 games in center, just 41 in right and 13 in left. Now, yes, if Buxton has an off day or if Buxton is on the injured list or has to miss time, Bader is someone that will play center. But our sports dad, Judd Zolgad, threw out a very reckless idea of, well, what happens if they move Buxton off of center? Now, I don't think that's the case. Bux's still the starting center going forward. I don't think they'll give him a new position. But where Bader trots in here is, yes, to answer some questions, you can expect Harrison Bader to play all 3 outfield positions. That's what it was kind of relayed to us. He's open to that. He wants to do that. He knows who the starting center fielder is on this team, and it's Byron Buxton. Falvey touched on the fact that he already had a conversation, Bader did, that is with Rocco Baldelli, just about kind of the plans and excitement and where he fits in. Bader even prioritized signing with the Twins. So he's been rumored to be on the Twins' radar for the last few years. I think Doogie has thrown his name out before, and they've just never been able to come to terms on a trade. You know, he's been traded and moved around a ton in the last 2 years. But now that he was a free agent, he actually prioritized coming here to Minnesota, sees a good fit. Obviously, the Twins have lost Max Kepler. Yes, I think there'll be scenarios where Buck is in center and Bader might be in right or left field here and there, and then he'll still get time at center if Buxton wants a DH day or misses time. But to answer some of those questions, you know, Harrison Bader will get some time in the corner outfield positions, which will be interesting to see which one maybe he prioritizes more or he fits better with more. Like I said, just 41 games in right, 13 games in left. In fact, if you want to go, that's just by games played. In terms of games started, he has actually only started 4 games in his career in left field and 30 games in right field. So I guess maybe it's probably more of right field if him and Buck are in the starting lineup together. Now, Bader also a right-handed hitter who can probably hit. He didn't hit lefties very well last season, but in his career has mostly hit lefties better. So I would assume with a lefty on the mound and the surplus of the Matt Wallners, Trevor Larnachs, that you'll probably see Bader in the mix there occasionally when there's a lefty starter on the mound. But we'll see where he fits. It was interesting to hear that he prioritized signing with the Twins. It's good to know that he is open and not just obviously reluctant to play a corner position. He also adds a speed dynamic. This is an area the Twins just haven't really had much success with. Now, he stole, 17 bases last season. He's good for about 15 to 20 stolen bases. So the Twins have not been a threat on the diamond for years, it feels like. So this also gives them a nice little added juice on the base pass. So that at least answers the first preliminary question. The Twins will report pitchers and catchers report next weekend, a week from now, full squad workout in about like 10 days. So we'll see as spring training unfolds and we get to watch those great position battles, who fits where. We'll see where Harrison Bader falls in there. A couple other things worth note from chatting with Falvey and Jeremy Zoll. So obviously Danny Coulomb, who they brought back here, he spent numerous years with the Twins. He turned himself into a very good lefty who also, I was under the impression he was just good against lefties. No, the guys might even be better against righties. So he can get lefties and righties out, which is something that's going to be very important in the bullpen. The Twins lacked a really good left-handed pitcher. Coulomb fits that. He's excited to be back here. He was eager to come back here as well. So that also is a good thing. On the salary front, because the Twins have now just added, about $9.5 million or so to their payroll, which we were kind of under the assumption that they didn't have any wiggle room, and now they have $9 million. Falvey touched on the fact of the same thing he has been saying before of when we've gone to Joe or we've gone to the Pohlad family in the past, if there's an area to improve our team, they typically green light it. I asked Falvey about the trade front because if you have now signed a couple players who are now making $9 million, teams know you're up against salary cap or have at least limitations in terms of where you can add to your salary. I shouldn't say salary cap because that doesn't exist here. However, it sounds like the trade chatter has actually dropped down a lot. I wanted to kind of get to the bottom. Is it now picking up more because teams know that the Twins just added a couple players? Falvey told me that because now teams are getting closer to spring training and report dates, they're pretty set with their roster. Now, would I be surprised if someone like a Chris Paddock, Vasquez, or even Willie Castro were to be traded between now and report date, or even at any point before opening day? No, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be shocked. It wouldn't be shocking to me at all. But that trade chatter has at least kind of dipped down a little bit in the last week or two, especially since Twins Fest, which was now 2 weeks ago. But that trade chatter is now quieter. The first base plan, they're still confident with their internal options. They're still exploring options. There isn't a ton out there in terms of the free agent first baseman they want to go get. So my guess there at first base is they will obviously go into camp with Julian and Santana, or Julian, excuse me, Santana's gone. Julian and Jose Miranda as the internal first baseman. They'll evaluate how they're progressing, how they look there. And then there wouldn't be a shock to me if they added to that position to find a more everyday, reliable, consistent first baseman, just because I know that's something that Rocco definitely prioritizes. So we'll see where that. Maybe we're all eating crow here. Maybe Jose Miranda and Eddie Julian have turned themselves in to very good defensive first basemen, but I think we have to kind of wait and see and let the coaches examine that, and we'll see where they're at by the time they are at opening day in St. Louis in about 7 weeks here, which is going to be very exciting. So just a little bit of an update for you guys here on the SKOR North Twins Show. I like to prioritize and give you guys the access and share the access that I have to you guys, the listeners. So thank you so much for listening and watching to the SKOR North Twins Show. You can hit the like button, subscribe button on the YouTube channel. 5-star rating on Apple also goes a very long way. We've had a couple of episodes obviously already on this feed. You can go find the Danny Coulomb episode. You can go find the Harrison Bader episode I did with Judd. We did a full SKOR North Twins Show on Thursday just discussing, is there another move that's next here? Obviously now checking in with Derek Falvey and Jeremy Zoll on a Zoom call here on Friday afternoon. I would assume there's probably nothing immediately in the works, but look, Luka got traded for Anthony Davis, right? So anything can happen in the baseball free agency and trade sphere, but figured I would just hop on here and give you guys some of that type of stuff. So appreciate that. We'll have some SKOR North Twin Show updates next week as well. I shared on a previous episode this week that we're going to be adding some new elements to the SKOR North Twin Show. I also am going to be taking more listener feedback on what you guys want to see. So if there is something specific, drop a comment here on this video. You can also hit me up on the SKOR North app. You can follow me at Dex's Tweets. I am on Blue Sky if that's also your thing, but I don't know my Blue Sky account off the top of my head. I'm going to pull that up here. I'm just Declan Goff at Blue Sky. All one word, Declan Goff. I'm not Dex Tweets because that's not Twitter there. So if that's a place you want to follow for some Twins news, please go ahead and do so. This is the SKOR North Twins Show. Happy Friday. I'll hop back on. Maybe Super Bowl Sunday at 5 o'clock, right? When they trade for Ryan Mountcastle or something. I'll be ready and I'll be eager to jump on here and talk with you guys. So appreciate it. That's your SKOR North Twins Show. Be talking at you hopefully this weekend.